Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Amy and you guys watched me pay off 6 figures worth of student loan debt in 2021. I am back continuing to share our financial freedom journey in 2022 and I cannot wait to continue to share all of our financial videos this year. So today we're going to be sharing our February 2022 budget. I can't believe that we are already talking about February when I feel like the year literally just began. I feel like 2022 is already going by super fast. Anybody else? Maybe it's because I am extremely pregnant right now. That could have something to do with it. Let's go ahead and just get started. Again, this is our February budget. We budget by month. If you are new here, my husband and I are both paid bi-weekly and we budget monthly. So this is just how we set up our budget. Over the years, we have changed the way we've done budgeting. We've done budgeting by paycheck before. We've done monthly budgets and all of that. And we've also not had a budget some years, which I would highly not recommend. But you live and you learn, right? If you're new here, again, my husband and I do get paid bi-weekly, and I do actually have an update on that because we used to be paid bi-weekly on opposite weeks. So we used to get paid every single week. However, my husband's employer actually changed their payroll schedule for 2022. That is something that I was kind of dealing with behind the scenes, just making sure that our budget would still work by getting paid the same weeks. So that was kind of an interesting adventure in January that we've been dealing with, is just trying to figure out our budget. Lucky for us, we don't have a ton of bills anymore. We have cut down a lot of our fixed expenses and bills, and we do have a buffer. So it has actually not affected our budget as much as I initially thought that it might. But it is just an interesting tidbit of information that we are actually no longer paid weekly. This also means that it'll affect our budgets going forward in a couple of different months in the year 2022, especially in April. So I was looking ahead at our payroll calendar and we will both be paid 3 times in April. So stay tuned for the April budget because it's going to be really wild because we will both be getting paid 3 times. So we will have 2 months of the year where we have way higher than average income or normal income for us, which will be a unique situation. But I just wanted to mention that because it is a change that we had this year with our budget. If you watched my January budget with me, I will link it in the cards above if you did not. We were estimating our budget or our income at $7,000. I am actually going to be estimating it at $7,000 again. That was very, very close. So I do round off our numbers. That also helps to kind of build up our buffer. I just prefer to do it that way because it causes me a lot less stress than trying to zero-based budget 100% and counting every nickel and dime. So again, if you're new here, just trying to explain a little bit of background on how we budget. I used to try to budget down to the penny and that just did not work out for me, and it was not good for my mental health, to be honest, because I was too concerned about making sure my budget was 100% balanced and all of that. We are going to be budgeting with $7,000. If you watch my January budget video, again, I did mention in that video that we had some updates with our 401k. We had changed around our contributions for our 401k. We both increased our contributions to our 401k, and then I also changed around some of our benefits. So basically what I did was I tried to increase our 401ks and then adjust other areas of our benefits so that it would make less of an impact on our take-home pay. We also both did receive small percentage increases for 2022, so that helped too. I just wanted to try to mitigate having too much of an impact on our take-home pay because we have been taking home $7,000 pretty much consistently since 2021. So anyways, I lowered our HSA contributions a little bit for the year 2022 just because we already have a significant amount of money in our HSA. So I did reduce our HSA contributions and it ended up pretty much evening out to our old amount. I hope that makes sense. We typically have side hustle income as well, but I don't count that towards our actual income until I do our budget closeout video. And we talk about our side hustle income every single week in Debt Free Friday videos. So if you're curious about that, check out those videos and my budget closeout videos. I do our monthly budget based on the minimum amount of income that we would receive from just our regular jobs. And then anything else that comes in is allocated to our financial goals as needed. So let's go ahead and start with our fixed expenses. So our mortgage, This is our mortgage for March 1st, and our mortgage amount is $12.84. Then we also have our cell phones. This is for both my husband and I's cell phones, and this is $130. We also have Netflix, which is one of the only subscriptions that we have kept, and that is $15. We have a Peloton bike, which is $41 for the membership. And then we also have our internet, which is $60 per month. We added this category in January, so we did add a giving category. So this is something that we have been wanting to add for a really long time, but we wanted to wait until we were debt free, just because we were trying to throw every single penny that we could to debt. We are setting aside $100 in the month of February for giving. In the month of January, we ended up just giving a lump sum amount to a charity that is close to us. We have a few different charities that we've donated to in past years. And so I think we're just going to continue to do that. I might pick a different one this month. I'm not sure. I didn't set up a reoccurring contribution or anything, but I think I might do the same one or maybe different. I don't know. We'll see. But we do just allocate $100 for that for now. I'm hoping to eventually increase that as well. But for now, $100 feels like it is a good amount. So then we also have our water bill this month. I get a lot of reoccurring questions on these videos that I'm going to try and answer in this budget video in case you are new here. So this water bill is actually quarterly. So a lot of my budget videos, you won't see a water bill because we do pay it quarterly. So I am estimating $225. That has been pretty spot on for us. We typically use less water in the winter, so it might be a little bit lower than that, but we will see. And then the other question that I get a lot is car insurance, because we don't put our car insurance in here. And that is because we pay our car insurance every 6 months. I actually paid it in January. So if you watched my January budget video, you would have seen car insurance in that video, and then February's water bill. Those are just some bills that we don't allocate money for every single month, if that makes sense. I prefer to pay things quarterly or annually or semi-annually when I can, because I hate having the monthly debits and stuff. Also, for our car insurance, it actually saves us money to pay it like that. So, and then I also have our electric, which comes out every single month, and I am estimating that to be about $200. It's kind of hit or miss with our electric. We pay based on usage. We don't have budget billing or anything. So it does vary quite a bit. I'm estimating $200. It might be a little bit higher than that. We will see, but that typically is around what we're using in the winter months. It hasn't been super, super cold here. I live in Wisconsin, if you're new here. It has been cold here, especially depending on who you're asking. For me, it has not been super cold, but it's been cold. But yes, so I think 200 will be sufficient for that. And I also have another update in this video. I feel like this is just the budget video with all the updates. So thanks for sticking with me while I have all these insane updates. We usually have my daughter's preschool in our budget. However, we were actually notified about a week ago that my daughter is losing her spot at her daycare. She goes part-time, and because of COVID and the staffing issues that they've had, they are actually no longer allowing part-time kids. So yeah, starting the last week of January. So she'll be able to go through the rest of January, but starting in February, she does not have a preschool program anymore, which temporarily is okay because I will be on maternity leave. Like I said, I am very pregnant currently and expecting to have a baby in just about a week. So yeah. I cried a lot about it. It was very tough because we really love her preschool, and yeah, it was basically a corporate decision that they did not have control over. So I understand. I was not mad at anybody in particular, but it was just very upsetting that she's not gonna be able to go. We did plan on keeping her in preschool, even though I was going on maternity leave, because I felt like it was just good for her to have some routine and stuff, but now we don't have one. So I am on a few different wait lists for preschools right now. I guess stay tuned on that. I will let you guys know what happens with that. It probably will be coming back in the budget. I'm hoping in March, April timeframe. I will be on maternity leave until May. sometime in May. I'm not exactly sure when yet, but I will be on maternity leave until sometime in May. So we have a little bit of wiggle room and flexibility with when she needs to start again, which is very helpful. I feel very bad for any of the parents that had their kids in the preschool and then like didn't have any other options. I don't know. It's just, for us, the timing worked out fine because like I'm going on maternity leave, but I know that other people weren't as lucky. If you are a working parent right now, my heart goes out to you because I know it is so challenging right now having two working parents and trying to figure out childcare with COVID and all of the other craziness going on. So my heart goes out to you if you are having any of the same issues. But yeah, I will not be putting preschool in our February budget, unfortunately. It does give us a little bit of extra money in our budget, which is great, but you know, I would have rather had her going, but unfortunately, I cannot control that. So our total fixed expenses then without that are $2,055. That leaves us with a remaining amount of $4,945. And then we're going to go up to our variable expenses. So we have first variable expense is our personal spending money. So both my husband and I get personal spending money. We both have our own like just little checking accounts on the side that we put the money in every single month. And then we just spend it as we want to spend it or if we want to save it. Sometimes I let mine build up a little bit and then buy something that I'm saving up for. Sometimes I spend it all. And then sometimes I actually send some of it to my M1 brokerage account. Just a little bit of a plug for M1. If you have not signed up yet, they do still have their $50 referral bonus going. So I highly recommend signing up if you haven't yet. I have a brokerage account there. I will put a picture of my brokerage account if you're curious. It just hit over $1,000, so I am super excited about that. That was a really huge milestone that I am really excited about. I really just use it for fun, and like I said, I put like some personal spending money in there every once in a while, but nothing super consistent at this time. But we are both getting $100 for personal spending. If you have watched my channel for a while, we used to do $100 total. Now we're doing $200 total. It is just kind of something that we agreed upon that once we were debt free, we would give ourselves a little bit more personal spending money every single month. I don't want to go crazy with the spending, but I feel like $100 a person is pretty reasonable for us. So that is what we are giving ourselves for this month. Then our next variable expense is gas. So this is gas for our cars. We've been doing $125 a month, which has been working out great. I feel like we will probably be under budget in that category for February because like I said, we're having a baby. I don't anticipate us like going a lot of places, obviously. So yeah, it'll probably be more than enough for the month. Groceries, we did bump this up to $600. That is working out great, so I will be leaving it at $600 for the near future. We will see if we need to increase that again, but you know, the inflation right now is pretty crazy, so it has been much needed to have that increased. And then last month, we also added this new category that's called fun/kids. It's kind of like my kids fund for like anything that they want to do over the month, like if we want to take them somewhere or if we want to just do something out of the normal, like go to a museum or an aquarium or, you know, do all of the things, go get ice cream, whatever. I just am setting aside $100 a month. That's kind of for my kids to do fun stuff and just anything that is extra. And then we also do give ourselves a miscellaneous category. This just kind of captures anything that is not accounted for elsewhere. Then our last variable expense is dining out. So we are going to give ourselves $225 for the month. I'm really hoping we can stick to that, but I know the newborn life is rough. And so if we go a little bit over on the dining out, it's okay. I'm going to give myself some flexibility for the first few months of the year because it's going to be a lot of changes going on with our family and just, you know, you need some flexibility sometimes. So that leaves our total remaining at $3,495. Then we're going to move down to our sinking funds. So sinking funds are something that we utilize for a few different items. I used to have a ton of sinking funds in the past. However, I just realized that that did not work out for me. I needed more broad categories. So if you are struggling with sinking funds, I would recommend trying both ways, trying to have sinking funds that are very, very specific for like, you know, very specific items and having a lot more sinking funds. And if that doesn't work, then I think having broader categories is helpful if that didn't work for you. So it kind of takes some playing around with what will work for you. I know a lot of people do this differently, but this is just what we do. So we have a few different sinking funds. We have our car sinking fund, our home sinking fund, we have a Christmas sinking fund, and then we have a kids sinking fund and a vacation sinking fund. So these are all the sinking funds that we have right now. A car is for like any car maintenance, eventually a car replacement. We're trying to kind of build it up in case we need to have any major car work done or anything. Also in the month of February, we do have our car registration. So I'm going to be pulling our car registration out from our car sinking fund. So you won't see that in our budget. I'm going to be pulling that directly out of the sinking fund. Our home sinking fund is for like any house projects, anything like that. Christmas is obviously for like Christmas gifts, anything decor related to Christmas, stuff like that. Kids is like for annual fees for like sports, etc. Things that are random. Back to school, I pull from this sinking fund. And then vacation obviously is for vacation. So we are putting in this month $50 to our car sinking fund. We're going to put $75 into our home sinking fund, $75 into Christmas, $50 into kids, and then $75 into vacation. We do not have any pending vacations at this time. Obviously, I'm pregnant and going to be having a newborn very soon, so we don't have any plans to go on vacation quite yet. But I'm hoping, in the next couple of years, we'll have some fun vacations to plan. Eventually, I do want to increase the amount we're sending to sinking funds, but for now, this has been working out. I don't anticipate us having any like large car or home purchases, hopefully in the near future. So this has been just what's working out for us right now. That brings our total of sinking funds to $325, and that leaves us with a remaining of $3,170. If you've watched my channel for a while, I feel like I almost just said that was going to debt, but we are debt free now, which is super exciting. So we are going to be sending this to our emergency fund. If you have been watching my channel for a little bit, we are currently working on building up our emergency fund. That is our current goal that we're working towards. So we will be putting $3,170 towards our emergency fund in the month of February. It'll probably be a little bit more than that because we do typically put all of our side hustle income towards our financial goals as well, which currently is our emergency fund, which is really exciting. So that brings our total savings and debt to $3,170, and that leaves our remaining at zero. So I do try to do a zero-based budget. Obviously, with the rounding and stuff, we do end up having extra that goes towards our buffer. I like having a buffer in our checking account, like I said, especially with the way that our checks have changed. It just kind of gives us a little bit of wiggle room if like a bill were to come out early or all of that. So I would highly recommend using a buffer of some sort. Ours is typically around a few $100s. I'm actually hoping to kind of start to build that up again because of the new payment schedule that we have with our jobs. It's just, I feel like when we were getting paid weekly, we constantly had money coming in. Now it's kind of like, okay, we're getting paid bi-weekly again. So it's just a little bit different, but I'm hoping to build up our buffer a little bit. Thank you guys so much for watching. I know this was probably a very long budget with me video because I had so many updates and different things to chat about. So I appreciate you sticking around, and I will talk to you guys in my video on Friday. Bye guys.